Picture this, you are constantly investing year after year, but reaching that first 100k feels like climbing a mountain. It's hard work, sweat and tears, with every dollar saved and invested taking so much time and effort to reach your destination. But here's the twist, that first 100k is more important than you think. Even though it's only 10% of your ultimate 1 million goal in dollar terms, it actually represents about 25.5% of the journey in time. So let me explain what I mean by this. The first 100k is the hardest part, but you are laying the most important foundation. Once you reach it, the magic of compound interest starts kicking in, and the road to $1 million becomes faster and easier. Think of compound interest as a powerful machine on autopilot that you have set in motion with a team of tireless allies steadily building your wealth, all at no extra cost. And the best part? Over time, they work harder and deliver even greater results as they go. In this video, I will show you why hitting that 100k goal is a critical milestone and how from there your wealth can grow almost on autopilot. So let's look at a simple example. Say you decide you want a 1 million portfolio. So you decide to invest $10,000 every year until you get there. So let's assume you achieve to get a 7% annual return, and this is close to the historic market average. After consistently investing $10,000 per year for 7.84 years, you reach a portfolio value of $100,000. And let's be honest, that's a great accomplishment, right? But at the same time, you may feel discouraged because it took you 7.84 years to achieve this milestone. But here is the exciting news, and this is something most wealthy people truly understand to their core. The most powerful force in investing, compound interest. So let's take a look at the correct example. So assuming you are investing $10,000 a year at the 7% interest, it took 7.84 years to go from 0 to 100k. But because of this special compound interest effect, it only takes you 30 years to get to the 1 million milestone. Yes, you heard that right. That's exactly why more and more people are starting to invest their wealth. And this is also why many people who are working around the clock at this time aren't making enough money. Their money isn't working for them. While $100,000 is only 10% of 1 million in dollar terms, it's actually a quarter of the journey in terms of time. So why is this? It's really important to understand this. As your investments grow, compound interest causes them to grow faster and faster over time. And here's how it works. In the beginning, when you are building up to your first $100,000, all of your growth comes mostly from your own contributions and a little bit of interest. But as your balance grows, the interest itself starts to generating even more interest. And I can tell you from my own experience, it's just like building a company. I remember those early days, working late nights, investing all of my time and energy into my business, wondering if I would ever see the payoff. In the meanwhile, I had friends in the corporate world making much more money than I did. But from the start, I was something different. I had a clear goal and I wanted freedom. And therefore, I didn't want to trade my hours for money. So I kept focusing on growing my business and don't let anything discourage me. Those first few years were far by the hardest. But once I hit that tipping point, everything started to flow. And my companies began growing faster and faster with less effort. And building wealth works the same way. The beginning is tough and it feels like you have to do the hard work yourself. But once you reach that first big milestone, things get much easier as momentum takes over. So let me explain what I mean by this, because this is very, very important. And here's the good news for you. You are much closer than you think. And here's a visualization I created to show you the snowball effect in action. This chart illustrates how your portfolio grows over time, highlighting the journey to $1 million and the initial milestone of reaching $100,000. What's important here is to see how growth starts slowly and takes 7.84 years, what we told you before, to reach the 100k milestone. But then your investment take up to speed as compound interest doesn't work. By the time you're approaching $900,000, the growth accelerates significantly with that final stretch to $1 million. In fact, reaching the last $100,000 takes only about 1.35 years, and that's almost 6 times faster than reaching the first 100k. And this is the snowball effect, where your wealth gains momentum and grows faster over time, powered by compound interest. And if you are a smart investor, you remember what I mentioned at the beginning of this video, right? Let me explain why hitting $100,000 is actually 25% of the journey to $1 million. Not in dollars, but in time. And now we have this visualization. In this example, reaching $1 million takes about 30.73 years. And it took 7.84 years to get to that first 100k. So if you do the math correctly, by dividing 7.84 by 30.73 and multiplying it by 100, you will see that it is approximately 25.5%. So reaching 100k takes 25% of the total time to reach $1 million. And as you can see, that means 74.5% of the journey happens after hitting that 100k milestone. This is the secret all rich people understand to their core. This is the simple game all wealthy people are playing. And this is what makes me and my clients wealthier every day, because this strategy works for you even while you sleep. It doesn't require you to work 24/7 of the time. Instead, your money does the heavy lifting for you, growing steadily over time. And the more money you have, the better this game of compound interest works for you. And as Albert Einstein said, compound interest is truly the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. While the first 100k is the hardest, everything gets easier afterwards, like you have seen in my example. And I'm not the only one saying this. Smart people like Jack Bogle, for example, a true icon in the financial industry, have seen and emphasized on the power of compound interest as well. So let's take a look at what he has to say on this topic on compound interest.
The miracle of compound interest working for us. And when you invest over 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, for today's young people, an investment lifetime is probably 70 years. Their life expectancy today is, if you're 20, it's probably 90. So you're going to be, and then you're going to be investing, after you retire, of course, and presumably that's in your 60s or 70s for some people. And
not you, but
not me. But that curve is just a sweeping curve, and it's the miracle of compounding returns, and it pays off hugely. Albert Einstein called compound interest the greatest financial miracle of all time, or something like that. So take advantage of that.
So the most important question is, are you already playing this important game? Or are you ready to start this journey on building a $1 million portfolio? Let me know in the comments below, and I would love to hear if you are taking action to grow your wealth. And remember, the sooner you start, the sooner compound interest can start working for you. And the best day was yesterday, and the second best day is today. In the next video, we will dive deeper with Jack Bogle, who shares 26 secrets and insights that is essential if you want to start building your wealth. These insights build on what we have covered here about compound interest, giving you more tools to grow your wealth smarter and faster. So be sure to check it out and don't miss this chance to take your wealth to the next level. See you in the next video.